so much for being with me. A couple quick things to get out of the way before we talk about theanine. Taking it multiple times a day or just once in the morning. And that is that you can, or I would love you to, subscribe if you haven't to the channel here. Check us out on the web because we get a lot of content that dates years back on nootropics. So many different experiments. livecortex.com/blog. Facebook.com/cortexstacks is where we're at. Please like us there. We would love for you guys that subscribe and support this channel to just go like us on Facebook. Cortex Labs, search for Cortex Stacks and like us. 4 products support this broadcast. Specials on some of them.
Elite level nootropic products.
All right, number 1, we have a stack, a nootropic stack, and it is awesome. I took it this morning, and it's the kind of stack that just wakes you up, puts everything in gear, makes you verbally fluent. It's like if you really want a fully functional brain, buy a bottle of Cortex. Cortex is awesome. You won't regret it. Think about it. I mean, it's an awesome stack. Folks love the Cortex stack too. Right now, and for Thanksgiving, you can get a bottle for $24. That's the special. Coupon code is Thanksgiving. Just the word Thanksgiving gets you Cortex for $24 all week for Thanksgiving. Do it now. This is the lowest it's been in a long time. So anyone can benefit from the mighty Cortex nootropic stack. Get that at livecortex.com. If you need my help personally on anything related to nootropics, we have a consulting service. It's a 40-minute call with me. Get that at livecortex.com. If you're new to nootropics, we've got basically 2 products. One is Smarter, Better, Faster. That's a book we wrote that teaches you everything. You have to just start there. And if you really want to get ambitious, the other product is the Nootropics Starter Pack, which gets you Smarter, Better, Faster and also gets you a bottle of the Cortex nootropic stack. Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. All right, so L-theanine is this compound that increases alpha waves in the brain. And alpha waves are essentially just electrical activity that is associated with brain calmness, predominantly here in the frontal lobes. When you meditate, and you can actually reach the meditative state, which is difficult. It takes a while, might take 15 minutes, might take 30. You got to kind of do it consistently. Why you feel so good and calm and control of your brain is because you're in an alpha state. It's been demonstrated meditation induces all kinds of changes in electrical activity. Alpha is one of them, but if you can meditate for a while, you can reach a state called gamma state, where you're basically the oscillations of electrical activity are in this gamma zone. And the gamma zone is super, super awesome. And it's like you really open your brain up and you feel that for a day or 2. That strong meditative effect you feel for days. You respond to stress better, all that stuff. So anyway, that's theanine can do that at a minor level, inducing alpha brainwaves. It also increases brain concentrations of serotonin and brain concentrations of GABA. On the GABA end, probably not to a super substantial degree, but to a significant enough degree where it's significant. It's been studied. That's theanine. The dose range is 100 milligrams to 1,500 milligrams. And it all really depends on what's going on with you. And that's kind of the base of what I want to talk about. So thread popped up on the web. Might be a stupid question for all, but I've heard some people splitting up their total dose of theanine throughout the day while others take it first thing in the morning, which makes a bit of sense since cortisol levels are highest in the morning. And I would say this. First of all, as an aside, cortisol levels being pretty good and high is a good thing. Everything has its extreme. When cortisol levels drop too significantly, that opens up a myriad of problems, and that could be a disaster for people too. The question about taking theanine throughout the day. So it really all depends. Okay, so let me just give you some examples. There was a time when I was running into some extreme anxiety, and that was because there was stuff going on at a previous company of mine. And when that was happening, I dosed theanine something like 500 or so milligrams right in the morning with coffee. So I got the coffee jolt, and then I got the theanine that kind of calmed things down. And then I would dose it again probably around 1 or 2 o'clock at 500 milligrams. And then at nighttime, after the company's business hours were over and I was doing administrative financial work, kind of just crunching numbers for the day, looking at that kind of stuff, making projections, seeking working capital, all things to make a company run, especially when it was in a little bit of a bad state. The market kind of changed for that company. I was dosing another 500 milligrams at nighttime, 6, 7 p.m. And what that did for me was the anxiety that was creeping up based on the circumstances that were happening in my business at the time, it basically didn't, creep up. It kept it level and under control. It kept me content and happy. And as a result, like, I was really motivated to kind of just work and get stuff done. Plus I could focus better. You know, when you get anxiety and when the brain ruminates about stuff, focus is really hard to do, because you need to be able to siphon your attention onto the stuff you're doing. And anxiety is just a bunch of pictures you make in your head about stuff happening wrong and thoughts you have about stuff happening wrong. Mostly pictures. People forget about that. You know, that if you think about what happens when you get anxious or when you have anxiety, you're not like running through you're not looking at words in your head. You're actually making pictures of bad stuff that you don't want to happen, and that triggers a stress response in your body. And so that's essentially how I dosed it in that situation. So the point is, like, if you're in a situation where you've kind of got constant anxiety and something's going on, or neurotransmitters are misfiring, you get deficiencies in some of them, and that's causing your anxiety, dosing theanine multiple times a day is a good thing. So you have to sort of think about why are you dosing theanine? You know what I mean? That's kind of the trick. I have also noticed that during times of really extreme anxiety, taking it, you know, first thing in the morning or kind of with a morning stack, maybe caffeine, Alcar, or something like that, is also a good thing to kind of mega dose it. At the most extreme times in my time having anxiety, I was dosing 1,500 milligrams of theanine, either split up throughout the day, or sometimes I would take it in the morning and dose the entire 1,500 milligrams. And then that was like really cool, kept me pretty good, you know, throughout a considerable portion of the day. And then maybe later on in the day, if something was going wrong, I'd just meditate and I'd be able to get away with that. Maybe take a little rhodiola ashwagandha and I'd be able to get away with that. So I guess it really all depends on kind of what's happening in your life. Now, a third situation would be if you're just taking theanine as a balancer to other stimulant nootropic stacks, because the stimulant nature takes you over the edge just enough to where you can't focus, but you have stimulation, brain's kind of going, then, you know, yeah, then you could dose theanine multiple times a day with stimulant-like stacks. So as an example, I've done this several times where I wake up in the morning, take like 4 grams paracetam, 100 milligrams alpha GPC, I drink a cup of coffee, and then dose 200 milligrams of theanine with it. And then later on in the day, 3, 4 o'clock or something, I needed extra brain performance, I would take the Cortex stack, which is stimulant like, you know, verbal fluency, motivation, dopamine sensitizing, acetylcholine producing, sort of an everything stack. And then I would dose 200 or 300 milligrams of theanine with that. And I get the Cortex effect, which is like strong and just like turns everything on, gets you into gear, stimulant-like capacity. And then I would calm that down a little bit with a balancer of L-theanine, and then I'd kind of, you know, be fine. So that's kind of situation number 3. So it really all depends. Situation number 4 is like you have to look at, well, are you okay during the day, have no anxiety, but you have problems sleeping? And if you do, you know, rather than taking like melatonin or something, which when you get your melatonin levels all jacked up, you wake up in the middle of the night, it's sort of weird, it messes with the rhythms of your sleep. Then, you know, L-theanine at 200 to 500 milligrams, kind of an hour or so before you go to bed, is a separate strategy, in which case you don't need to take it throughout the day because you're basically fine, but you're having sleep problems, you take theanine later at night. Okay, so basically it really all depends. And, you know, this person who asked the question is really not giving anything contextual about the necessity to take theanine, and that's what you have to think about. Why do you want to take it? Why do you need to take it? What is going on? Are you using it as a balancer? Do you have extreme anxiety, or do you have sleep problems? And then once you determine that, that determines the frequency of consumption or administration of theanine throughout the day. That's my take on it, okay? Thanks so much for watching. Hope that makes sense for folks. Theanine's really awesome. I mean, it's one of those nootropics I believe you could absolutely take every day. Caffeine, theanine, no question, don't need to cycle. And sometimes I take it when I want to meditate. So maybe that's like situation number 5 or 6. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Remember, livecortex.com/blog has a lot of this content right now. And for Thanksgiving, you can get a bottle for $24. That's the special. Coupon code is Thanksgiving. Just the word Thanksgiving gets you Cortex for $24 all week for Thanksgiving. Do it now. This is the lowest it's been in a long time. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Talk to you next time.
My name is Ryan Michael Ballo. For 6 years, my sole mission has been to improve the performance of my brain. This is why I created Cortex. My mission was to build a nootropic stack that gave me extreme focus, powerful motivation, and a heightened cognitive state. And after years of experimentation and a comprehensive beta testing protocol, and putting together the most powerful nootropic compounds on the planet, I found what I was looking for.